One thing to notice about highlights is if you look at your subject and you move your head back and forth, but keep your eyes looking at your subject, you'll notice that the highlights slide around on the surface of the pear or whatever you're looking at. And the reason the highlights move around is because the highlight is the point on the pear where the light is reflected from the primary light source directly into your eye. And as the angle of your head changes, that means the position of the highlight changes. As the angle of the light source to your eye changes, it'll bounce off of a different part of the pear. Unlike the other parts of light where you see the shadow side or the basic light side or the transition between the shadow and the light, those parts of light don't shift or move around. It's like they're stuck to the surface of the pear. And there's a lot of optical scientific reasons as to why that happens, but it's good to notice while you're working. It's one of the reasons that highlights are confusing to paint, because just as when you move your head from side to side and the highlight moves, it means that also that each eye is seeing the highlight in a slightly different position. And that makes the highlight look a little bit 3D, like it's jumping up off the surface a little bit of the subject that you're looking at. So the fact that the highlight sort of jumps up but comes forward a little bit and it vibrates a teeny tiny bit in your vision and it moves whenever you move your head. There's something that is sort of elusive and magical about a highlight, but there's also something that makes it very difficult to paint a highlight. So if you find that you're struggling with the highlights, that's why. That's okay. They're just more difficult to paint than we expect. We think that the highlight is just a little dot of white paint at the lightest part. But the highlight is really fundamentally a different behavior of the light in a very elusive subject. You'll spend the rest of your life that you continue to paint and continue to develop as a painter, you'll spend the rest of your life mastering how to paint highlights. So don't worry if they feel like a struggle when you're just starting to paint.